Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 9, want to present about radio broadcasting study of FM transmission. Now, I want to introduce myself. My name is Bashira binti Bahardin and another three group members, which is Muhammad Lutfi Ikmal bin M. Roslan, Muhammad Mirza Aish bin Misri, Nur Izzati binti Muhammad Azaman. For the abstract, in this paper we study about radio broadcasting by focusing on the frequency modulation transmission. FM is frequently used in radio broadcasting compared to AM due to its sound quality. Besides, FM was originally introduced to improve the quality of the radio. We will do FM broadcast method in Simulink MATLAB to observe the FM transmission baseband. In Simulink, we implement the use of block FM broadcast modulator baseband. This block model will pre-emphasize the input audio signal, then it will modulate it into a baseband FM signal. We will use spectrum analyzer to observe the impact of the FM signal spectrum. By simulating the Simulink block, we can observe that the spectrum of the baseband FM signal is being weakened at the higher frequencies compared to its original signal. To observe the impact of FM signal spectrum in this experiment is by changing the frequency division. Frequency has set.
My name is Muhammad Mirza Aish bin Misri. So, my cut metric is B082010-435. So I will introduce my part is about introduction. So I will explain this project about introduction. So firstly, broadcasting is the distribution of audio or radio information to a distributed audience by any electronic mass media device that use electromagnetic spectrum such as radio wave. Secondly, radio broadcasting is the transmission of audio or sound that occasionally associated with information. FM is proposed for the use in audio transmission is because it can improve the quality and lessen the noise of the audio. And lastly, FM usually used at very high frequency, VHF or short form for very high frequency, radio frequency for high fidelity broadcast of speech or music. FM has radiated power and it also improves the signal to ratio XNR about 25 decibel. So next, we review. So we have 3 points which we review from others journal. First is Madhumembe 2005. In the countries with the high illiteracy rate and where listeners speak local language, FM radio has great importance because ability of reading or writing is not necessary for understanding radio content. Third lecture review, Osha and Richmond, 2008. According to the Department for International Development, radio is most cost-effective information communication technology (ICT) for improving the quality of education. So lastly, Focus Server 2014. Educational programs about new intervention in agriculture will be more fruitful if they are broadcasted through the radio, and the formats in this program are to be chosen among local experts speaking in their native language. Thank you. So I will pass this to another presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Izzati binti Muhammad Azaman and I will explain about methodology. Generally, FM system consists of an information source, an oscillator, channel, modulator and demodulator. information source or not or know as a message signal and carry signal generated by the oscillator will add a input and goes into the FM modulator, producing a modulator signal. Next, we use the demodulator to retrieve the original information signal. This demodulator will act as the separator of information signal inside the modulator signal. The modulator frequency signal can be generated in two ways. These techniques are known as direct and indirect frequency modulator. The message signal is delivered into the voltage across oscillator in the direct FM modulator system. As for this paper, we implement the use of indirect FM, in which the message signal is integrated within the integrator. Then it will be generate a phase modulator signal. This signal will be sent via the phase modulator, resulting in a narrow band FM signal. There are two designs of FM demodulator, which are frequency discrimination and phase discrimination. Frequency discrimination method contains envelope detector and a differentiator. In this paper, we apply the phase discriminator method for the FM demodulator. In this method, we create a demodulator out of multiplier, a low pass filter and a VCO. Okay, for the block diagram of indirect frequency modulator method, we use modulator signal, integrator, carrier signal, phase modulator and modulated signal. For block diagram of phase discrimination method, we use FM wave, next loop filter and VCO. FM system is a special wireless device that help people hear better in noisy listening situation. FM stands for frequency modulation and use radio wave to transmit audio signal to the listener. For the design simulation, we use Simulink in the MATLAB-based software to run FM modulator and demodulator simulation. Okay, first picture is for block diagram of FM demodulator. Firstly, we use message signal, frequency carrier, and sensitivity factor. And then we use then the output will be the output connect to discrete time integrator and gain and cost, and the output will be appear times scope 1. For block diagram of FM demodulator, we use matrix multiply, low pass filter, continuous time VCO, and complex to real image. Then we set the value of each block parameter in Simulink. For the sine wave, we use 1 amplitude and 10 Hz, hence 90 phase offset radian. For constant, we use 350 constant value, and for gain, we use 150. And gain, we use 2 pi. For analog filter design, we use low pass and filter order is 10. And pass band edge frequency 2 pi 10 radian per second. Continuous time VCO, we use output amplitude is 1 volt and frequency 10 Hz and input sensitivity 50 Hz per volt and phase 0 radian.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Thank you Zati for present about the methodology for this mini project. Next, my name is Muhammad Rufiq Khan bin Muhammad Roslan. I will present about the result and discussion from the design simulation for FM modulator and demodulator. For FM modulator, we use 350 for frequency area. Then from the output from time scope, we get the waveform for DC signal or known as information signal. As we can see the picture in this slide. For message signal used in simulating block or simulation to modify the frequency carrier signal which has a constant value. Then this is the output for part FM modulation. This is a frequency modulated signal. The output, as we can see the diagram in the slide, it get a waveform closely. Then modulated signal are passed through a discrete time integrator followed by a gain and trigonometric function, and finally to a low pass filter. And the last one for demolition part, we use continuous time VCO and low pass filter, so we get the signal and the waveform same as original message signal. The demodulated signal is recovered as its original message signal, or in the other word, the output is the same as the message signal. For this situation, we use the built-in low pass filter to filter the signal after normalization. Then I will pass to Shira to explain about the conclusion.
Now for the conclusion, FM modulator will receive two different signals, which are the information signal and carrier signal. Information signal, or also known as message signal, is a signal from an external source, while the carrier signal is from a built-in oscillator. The FM modulator circuit that we use in this research consist of integrator that used for integrating the modulating signal MT. The reason why we must integrate the modulating signal is because for the carrier we use 350. For FM demodulator also have two types, which is frequency discrimination and phase discrimination. In this research, for the FM modulator demodulator, we implement to use phase discrimination method. The effect of varying the carrier and message signal frequency on the modulated and demodulated signal to make data transmit in transmitter. Carrier signal must higher than data in order to make it transmit. If both carrier and message signal frequency are the same, then it is not required for modulation. Then, in this research, we have shown the basic of MATLAB and Simulink utilities as modeling and simulation tools using modulation and demodulation method as a case study. We conduct this study at FM transmission in radio broadcasting context. Simulink has a rich library and built-in functionality which can be used to facilitate the entire modeling process. For example, to see the easy of using Simulink, if we know how to set the different parameters for each block in the system or process, it requires less energy and time to build the whole system versus hit and attempt experiment are always faced by designer or student when to explore more about the project. Therefore, data impairment can be significantly reduced during communication delay. Okay, that's all for our presentation about radio broadcasting study of FM transmission.